In the fantastical realm of Discworld, death takes an unconventional apprentice, plunging him into a world where the line between the living and the dead blurs. He accepts his new role and finds himself tasked with escorting souls to their final destination. We follow along as he navigates the whimsical intricacies of the afterlife, grapples with the weight of mortality, and discovers the profound beauty hidden within the realm of the departed. However, compassion and curiosity lead him to question the nature of life, death, and the eccentricities of fate itself. In death, life is anything but ordinary to... Mort by Terry Pratchett was published in 1987 by Victor Gollancz in association with Colin Smythe. Whether those names were pronounced correctly, I do not know, but that's what came up when I Googled it. This is the fourth book in the Discworld universe of novels, of which I believe there are 36. I should have looked this up. I did not. This is the first book in the Death series, or the Death storyline of 5 books, and it's a good one. I really, you know what? The witty humor and the sarcasm definitely plays in this book. There's just something about the way that Pratchett writes that, in my opinion, is very difficult to adapt. It seems as though it is a purely literary style. And, you know, it has partly to do with his use of fonts to help in meaning, but that is to represent different voices. There's just something about the way that he conveys diction and his characterizations that is just so, I don't know, I'm just, you know, he's so funny. I just giggle. I just chuckle and giggle when I read his books. The characters in this book are pretty bland. You know, this book is 300 pages, and there's not much to the characters. They're pretty wooden. It's kind of a joke that, you know, he describes Mort as just a sack of elbows, or just a bunch of gangly elbows. He's very tall and gangly. But other than that, the characters are just real bland, and it's more about the larger ideas that he's exploring with regards to death and public service. The character of Death is, I think, the only character that is a little bit more fleshed out and is actually interesting. I've read a few other books in the series, and we'll kind of get to that, but he shows up in, I think, every book, if I'm not mistaken, at some point or another, and I think that's a nice through line because death appears everywhere, and death is kind of something that we as people try not to think about, but is an ever-present source of grief or part of life, really. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I don't want to ruin anything. This is an early book in the Discworld series, number 4. There's lots of them. And he definitely develops his skill in story writing. This book kind of has a basic story. It's tropey, and that's just kind of my opinion, man. I do want to say that more than any other fictional universe, I draw upon Discworld the most for inspiration in my Dungeons and Dragons campaigns or games that I run. Not necessarily as far as like the lore and the story or the magic is concerned. It's just kind of the interactions and the kind of the goofy kind of, you know, when you read these books, you kind of understand there's like a certain style, and like my favorite thing is when like just some random secondary character is like sassy, or they like answer a question perfectly, or like in a way that, you know, I love the way that his characters interact if I'm not the hugest fan of how much he's developed them. They're 300-page books, so I totally get it. And so we come to the section of the video where I rate the book, and I'm going to give this one a 23 shining, smiling teeth of death out of 32. As everybody knows, people have 32 teeth. Yeah, I've kind of just talked about what I have problems with. The story structure is kind of bland. Characters are kind of bland. The ideas are really interesting. I would love if you guys let me know your favorite thing down in the comments about this book. My favorite thing are the scenes with Death by himself. And I don't want to say anything more than that, but that, I think everybody knows that kind of what I'm talking about if you've read the book. Those scenes are so great, and I just want more of that. And I hope that the storyline of Death is more developed, and I know it's supposed to be really good, so I'm looking forward to reading the rest of it. The other books in the series that I've read are The Color of Magic and Guards. I really enjoyed those books. I'll probably do a video about each one of those. But, you know, let me know what your favorite entry into the Discworld series is down in the comments. I'm really interested in knowing what people think is the best one. Please like and subscribe. Again, if you would please leave a comment telling me what your favorite Discworld novel is, I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, as always, make sure you buy the expensive boots.